So, the scariest movie ever created is a massively opinionated, debatable free choice. Some people will say Halloween, Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, The Exorcist, The Shining. There's loads. But in my opinion, the scariest film ever created is Candyman. So back in the 90s, we never had no major information of any film that was coming out. We had to actively go to the cinema to see them or wait for them to come out into our local video stores on VHS. Now when I seen Candyman, I was instantly attracted to that film based on a ghost story that I'd always read as a child. It was called The Hook. It was a Spine Chiller's original. And when I seen Candyman, it absolutely terrified me. Bernard Rose did a fantastic job of creating fear from not allowing you to see what's going on. There's a scene where a woman's being mutilated and you can't see it, you can only hear it. And when this scene had finished, my mind started fucking with me. All you would really see is the aftermath of what had happened, and it was horrendous. So feeling the natural sensation of fear these days in horror films is a waste of time. None of them know what the fuck they're doing. And we've been spoilt rotten for the last 4 decades, and generations now are even going back in time to watch the 80s and 90s horror. I haven't wanted to rewatch any modern day horror films. What does that say? Basically, directors have got it wrong. They don't use any good scores. Try watching Halloween without a score. It's shit. Robert Englund did a fantastic job of scaring the living shit out of people, but without a score, Nightmare on Elm Street is nothing. Every decent horror film that ever come out had its own individual score, something you could listen to and associate to the movie or the feelings you were going through. Good character development, before they completely massacred the ending of Stranger Things. Good show by the way, but they made you care about the characters and they used a good score. Coming up with an iconic horror fictional character is virtually impossible these days. It feels like everything's been done. Art the Clown was good. That was really good. You can literally dress anyone up in a mask and a suit and it'll work to some degree. The one person you can't replace is Tony Todd. Excluding the fact that he was 6'5", there was something about the guy that was creepy as fuck. I think the voice and the death stare just imprinted on me. You make eye contact with this guy, you're having nightmares for weeks. He was always supposed to play Candyman. It was even foreshadowed in Night of the Living Dead. He gets out the car and he got a crowbar in his hand. It might as well be a hook in his arm. It's uncanny.
They got that right too.
I love ghost hunting. It's the whole purpose of my channel. To go to a grotty location, spin off the air for hours on end and catch nothing. But when you do catch something, you upload it to your social platform to just being accused of fakery. It's fucking brilliant, isn't it?
You bunch of yo-yos!
But I always implemented a style of edit which was extremely difficult to do. Which brings me to the point of this video. All I ever wanted to do was bring a very subtle sense of dread to the videos that I had learnt from watching horror films all my life. I was always using the same techniques as they use in films like Candyman, The Shining, Alien, Halloween. I was even researching music and Foley by studying people like Steve Jablonsky or Philip Glass. And anything that would trigger fear, I would implement it into an edit. For example, avoid being cliche. Fear is only built on what you don't see and what you actually hear. So too much exposure can damage your imagination. So once you've got into someone's mind, you've won. No one really went to the mirror after watching Candyman and said his name 5 times, despite it being not real. To sell the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they made a trailer for Platinum Dun based on sound.
I had this crazy idea to record a girl in a house. Totally black, big movie theater, amazing STDS sound. You hear her running around the theater, clambering up these wood stairs. She comes to the front of the screen. You can't see anything. She opens like this closet door, and you hear her barricading herself in, dragging stuff in front of the door, and then you hear male footsteps. And you hear her breathing, trying to be quiet, as you hear these footsteps come up and around the theater. And then you hear this guy right in front of the door. And then there's 4 seconds of just dead silence. Everyone in the audience would jump and then they would laugh because they got scared. How did I get scared from just hearing sound? That's what we showed around. We showed it at AFM. We sold the movie internationally.
So sound alone works. So I did study fine art and multimedia for my 3-year education at college, and I left with distinctions. All my final projects were based around fear and what drives it. So I used Candyman as an example and a reference point for my final projects, and I must have watched that film over a dozen times, and I found so many key points that were actually scary in that film. So relatability is a huge factor. Everyone owns a mirror inside their home, so everyone becomes the target. So Shakespeare is not considered scary at all. It was deliberately used in the movie to shape the villain's identity. So did you know how calm and collected everything was? There was no headless chicken behavior in this film. No one was running around screaming. In fact, Virginia Madison, who plays Helen, she spent the entire time in a trance. The focal point was her eyes. You know the saying, you say more without saying nothing at all? That's that. They made him out to feel like he was an unstoppable force, someone you couldn't escape from, you were trapped. And yet he moved really slow. And they did it with Michael Myers as well. You walk everywhere. So speed has something to do with this. You're either really slow or you're extremely fast. There is no in between. It seems to create a subconscious state of panic, and the eye contact in the film was huge. Tony Todd didn't need to say much at all, he just looked at the person. Have you ever been in a room and you've been looking at a certain painting on the wall, and no matter where you go, this painting's looking at you? It's so damn creepy. So that's what I do. I take these elements and I apply it to my content. It's a deliberate thing, and I am going to carry on with this kind of style in my content, and some people are going to look at that as a form of cheating and lying. It's not, it's just being creative. Now do yourself a favour, one night, turn out the lights, light a candle, sit there and watch Candyman, and then see if you've got the guts to go and say it 5 times in the mirror.